Hey guys, so looking at a quick video here on installing the spinning pop bumpers. I'm just going to show you the front one. The rear one's pretty much the same. Um, so you're going to have to do a bit of disassembly, especially if you're doing the rear one. You'll need to take off the black pearl ramp. So unscrew that screw there. It stays attached. It's in a little donut. And before you lift that off, unscrew the two screws down here that hold the ramp in. And then you can flip the ramp over and put it on a towel or just set it down gently. Then you're also going to want to take off the metal part of that ramp. And you may want to do this before because it just slides out of these holes here. So first I would unscrew that nut so you can take off the whole thing at one time, and then you can either leave this attached down there or just slide it off and put it down out of the way. So now that you have the black pearl stuff out of the way, that's probably, I think that's probably all you need, unless I'm forgetting something to get to the spinning one right here. You'll have likely on top of yours one of these guys, so just unscrew that and put that aside along with the screws. You won't need them. And of course you're seeing on mine my motor already installed, but yours will just be empty inside. I don't think you have the lights in these. If you'll do, you'll have to remove them, so you'll just have to clip the wires and pull the lights out. You can see there's a light in this one. That white thing is just a piece of plastic that it's attached to. So you have to use like a little knife or something to pry it out and lift it up, and then there are wires. And you can either desolder them from that green board, or you can just cut them and splice them later. But you won't be able to use the light and the motor at the same time. And I don't think you have lights in these. I think everybody's set up the same. You're just missing the motors. So in your package will come a motor. So let me grab it. So here's the motor and plate assembly. It will either come to you put together like this, or you'll just take these two screws and lock washers and attach the plate to the motor. Come on, focus. And then you're going to take these two wires and feed them down through those holes that those wires are going through already. Obviously you won't have those. You'll just feed them right down through the holes. And then the motor will sit inside here, like this, like so. Obviously those wires will be going down through the holes, and then you'll take the longer, I believe they're 3/4 inch stainless screws, and those will go through these holes and into the hole on the side of the pop bumper base right there. So they'll fit on either side. I don't think this is the 3/4 inch screw, but it will go all the way into that hole. So just tighten that down. Doesn't have to be extremely tight, but yeah, just give it a hand tightening, and you should be good with the motor mounting. Then your character will go on top, or your barrel. So let me grab that. So this is a prototype barrel. It won't look exactly the same as yours, but you get the general idea. Everything's built into the barrel to mount it. You don't have to do anything special. It just pops right down on top of the motor. The shaft of the motor goes in the hole on the bottom of the barrel. And you'll need a small hex key. I don't remember the size offhand, but I'll look and post it. It's like 2mm or something, I don't know, really small. And there's a hole inside of on the side of the barrel. And that lines up exactly with the hole inside of the side of the post, and you'll have a little set screw in there that the hex key will go into, and that's the set screw that gets screwed in to tighten up against the motor shaft. And it doesn't need to be extremely tight. The fit of the shaft on this in this hole on the post is pretty tight already, and so this is just more of a like extra little bit of tension that gets put on that to keep the post from spinning inside the barrel. So I just pop that guy on there. You may need to hold it up just like a hair, like the sheet of a paper, that kind of thickness off motor plate, just so this isn't resting on the screws in the motor plate. But you can obviously set the height you want. You have a little bit of travel there that you can set it to. But yeah, once you get that installed, that's basically the upper playfield stuff. You can put on the ramp back on, and then just attach it the way it came off. Using the screw that goes into this post is how you can sort of level the ramp. When the black pearl's level, you want the ramp sort of be level with it, and you can use that screw to tip it to the right or left as needed. Don't screw the ones on the playfield that hold the bottom of the ramp down too hard. Just give them a little bit of torque to pull the ramp down, but you don't want to strip the playfield with those. And that's basically it up here. Let's look under. So everybody has the wiring under their playfield for this. It just is not used if you don't have the spinning pop bumpers. So there are two different sets of wires, one for the upper and one for the lower pop bumper. The upper one is the one with like the books on it and the coins and stuff. And the lower one is the one with the character on it. So the lower one is obviously up towards the upper part of the playfield, and it's a yellow bundle of wires. And what you'll see is, on mine, I have these two wires here, yellow and yellow brown. You're going to have one yellow, one black, or whatever wires are coming out from the motor that you just installed. And then those are going to attach to this bundle here, which is yellow brown. So yellow brown's the lower pop bumper, the character pop bumper that we were just looking at. And that's plug is going to be somewhere in this grouping of plugs. You can see the big grouping of yellow wires there. It will just be somewhere in here. The other one, which is the upper pop bumper, yeah, I got that right, which is over here, has, if you look in here, a yellow, black, and yellow wire. If you go into the coil test in the menu, it tells you what color the wires are that go to each coil, and these motors are a coil in that test menu. So you're going to take the pigtail that comes with your kit. Let me grab that. There's the pigtail. So obviously this white Molex connector plugs into the proper Molex connector for yours. This is the upper pop bumper, which is the the yellow black. And so you'll just find the right one. The other end is a little snap together quick connector. So you can see one end's already connected for you. The other end, you just slide those two wires from the motor into those clear holes there. And the wires are stripped a little bit at the end just to help with the connection. And so you're just going to slide them into there, and then you crimp this white piece down, or the clear piece. And you're going to want to use like a little set of needle nose. You can use a full-size set, I guess, but just don't apply too much pressure. Basically, those little tabs on the side are going to click into the black part. You'll hear a click on each side. So do one side first, or on the other side, you can try pressing them down at the same time. But if they get latched, you just use like a little hobby knife or something to flip those clear tabs off of the black part. But basically, you're just going to match up the wire colors, obviously. Click those together and make sure they're clicked all the way down. And then you'll plug in the Molex connector. You can then power on your game and test out the motor. I'm not gonna, okay, I'll pause it. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so your game's on. Obviously open the door, go into the settings menu. Where are the buttons? And go into tests, coils, go down quite a bit, and you'll come across the yellows. So you can see that. There are the yellows. And it tells you barrel, spinning pop bumper, yellow black, and yellow brown. One's pirate, one's barrel. Pirate's the lower one. And so all you have to do is choose that. So we did the pirate one, let's say, and then hit the right button to go from manual to repeat. And your coil will be pulsing, or your motor. Obviously, if you have the barrel on there, it will be spinning. And then, of course, you can go to the other one and that will go as well. Mine's unplugged. So that's your test, and once you are confirmed that the motors are working, then when you play the game and hit the pop bumper, it will spin. You're all set.